Hello, guys, to another trading week and another recap. I promised I would do one if I was able to get home in time, and I'll pretty much go over today. I peeked at charts every once in a while on my phone, but I didn't really look at them except for the live call in the Discord, which was around market open and 10 a.m. But right after 10 a.m., I pretty much hopped off, so yeah, so going over. Um, As I said in my Outlook channel, this was too discounted for me to look for shorts right away. But at the same time, I didn't really like the spot for longs either. Because you can see on the daily we have an open high and we have no wick on ES, pretty much no wick on NQ. So didn't really favor longs. Other than that, what can we see? So I had two things marked. I had this gap I wanted to see traded into in case we wanted some shorts. Same goes for ES right here. Pretty much used the OTE of this wick for delivery higher. We didn't quite hit CE of this, but what we did hit, that I explained in last week's, I think it was a recap where I explained this could be a draw. I wanted to see this one. This was like the most discounted one. You can see how we perfectly held the gap. So this is a pretty bullish sign. Although the open is like what I didn't want to see, as I explained, right? But yeah, other than that, we opened pretty much traded higher since. Same goes for NQ right here. We didn't really have any higher time frame PD arrays right here that we could have used to trade higher. So little trading right here, little trading below midnight. No real PD array to sponsor the move higher. Maybe in the 15-minute. Yeah, we do have one, but like I said, this didn't really like how it played out. But yeah, let's go over New York AM session. So market open pretty much here. So we went through this open in the live con. It's just kind of 5 minute. Didn't really like how we opened. Pretty much just traded higher. Yeah, we used this gap right here to trade higher. We pretty much chopped, and then we had 10 a.m. open, right? 10 a.m. opened to the downside today, which isn't great either if you wanted to short. But you can see we managed to push above 10 a.m. So for all the people that long 10 a.m. today, it doesn't really make sense to long for the reasons I explained. We had just a huge up move. If you go to regular trading hours chart, you can see how we have this huge gap unfilled. Most of the time, price tends to go back into this gap and find some support or just completely close the gap, right? So that's why I would have been bearish today for 10 a.m. if I traded it. Same goes for ES. And you can see 10 a.m. provided a pretty decent setup today, right? Yeah, we took out this low. But yeah, you can see we had some manipulation above 10 a.m. So if you were bearish, you just would have needed to wait for this, right? And you can see how we have an SMT right here, which is pretty perfect for 10 a.m. So maybe some of you guys took something around here for shorts. This could have been a good entry right here. First decent rejection block after 10 a.m. formed, right? This candle closes bearish, this one trades into it, this also gives you an entry, and then we just trade lower. This was if you wanted to position yourself in the manipulation candle. Same goes for ES right here. Other than that, no real setup for me that I would have taken. At 11 a.m. that's my cutoff time, so I would have been off right here. This looks pretty decent. Other than that, though, we do get the retap right here at 10 a.m. This was the one I saw on the phone while I was away. And Q tab 10 a.m. This one worked right here. Would have gotten break even probably, or took a loss. And this one is the actual setup. You can see again how we form an SMT right here, which is pretty much perfect. Every single time I see an eternal SMT like this, it just validates my trade even further. This is something I really like to see during my trades. So another setup right here with this rejection block, right? Pretty much C of it is 10 a.m. You can see how the candles respect that. We are also in a higher time frame range, probably. You can use the 5-minute right here. Do we close above OTE? No. You can see it's pretty much OTE of the range too. And then we probably make an SMT right here. Yeah. So if you enter this or took 10 a.m. shorts, I would have been break even right here, or well, once we traded higher right here after we broke this low, which we do in the same candle. So 2 break even spots, then I would have TP probably around here. I wouldn't have held for the external low or like closed at the SMT right here that we made. And yeah, that's probably the trade. Like I said, it's after 11. So if I didn't stay any longer, I wouldn't have seen this, right? If I didn't catch this trade and price action looked decent, which it does after like this point, this is decent price action. I don't really like the open right here. This trade is something I would personally take because, like I said, fill the gap to the downside, get some trading below 1800. That would have been my like overall draw, like bias, whatever you want to call it, right? So yeah, 2 decent setups. If you were short, if you were long, I don't know. Didn't really check anything. I mean, right here, maybe after this SMT, you don't get an entry on the 1 minute. Do you get an entry on the 5 minute? Maybe. No, you don't. This rejection block doesn't hold, which is pretty unlucky, right? So I think some of you maybe took this, which is unlucky. It gets reswept. ES makes equal loss and Q makes a loss. It makes an SMT again, a third an SMT. But yeah, that's about it. I don't really see anything else. Now the thing is, we had contract rollover, right? So you have this gap. So now we pretty much hit the daily gap. We did hit the daily gap right here too. So it's gonna be interesting to see what tomorrow brings. I'll let this play out and then we'll see what tomorrow brings. I still think this could be a draw because we have like no trading below it. Doesn't mean we need to hit it right away. It's just something to keep in mind, right? Also, I want to see this gap traded down into, or like part of it traded down into, because if you can see regular trading hours, we do have a gap right here, and if we keep expanding right now, we'll have another one overlapping the already existing NWAL, right, or like NDOG. So we do have 2 gaps that we didn't fill, but we also have stacked highs right here, and we do have an old gap right here didn't fill. This is like a new day opening gap we still have open. So it's going to be tricky, in my opinion, because we do have relative equal lows, we do have relative equal highs, we do have 2 gaps. We're just stuck in this range for ages, and we can't seem to find a way out of it. So be patient and don't do anything stupid. That's what I would do. Other than that, I keep you guys updated in my channel. If I form an idea about tomorrow, we'll probably let London and Asia play out for now and then give updates. It's kind of hard to determine what this day wants to do right here. If you look at the weekly, it's an inside candle, so we left previous week low, and now we're in the middle of last week's candle again. Same goes for NQ. The last 3 weeks just look fucking awful. It's crazy how they look. Same goes for this. We just have 2 huge gaps, which is insane. And now, yeah, we'll see what we get and what we can trade. So that's it for me, pretty much. Hope you found this insightful, although I didn't really look at charts today. So it's more of a hindsight look for me. I mean, we did see 10 a.m. play out live. But yeah, other than that, everything after I hopped off is hindsight. I only saw 10 a.m. level get tapped on my phone, which I said, this doesn't look bad. This could have been something I would have taken probably. Now I saw we had SMT and everything else, so wanted to outline that. But as I said, I think that's it for today's recap. I'll keep you guys updated. If there's questions, let me know. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's recap. Bye bye.